Hello, everyone. Again, my every week line. Welcome to Roseburg Speaker and Storytellers. Yay! Another Monday. Today's a little different because we have daylight saving time started yesterday, and well, I am also a bit confused with this because it's supposed to be still 7, but it's 8. It's supposed to be 12, but it's 1 p.m. So let's just get started with our meeting and welcome Deja again. Nice to having you here. We have Sarah and Christina, also members of RSS. Today, our TMOD is Excel is Monday. Excel, are you ready? Look at your big smile. Let's welcome and give a round of applause for Excel.
Thank you very much. Yes, today is, well, in fact, we are almost close to a new season, the spring. So welcome to the spring. For one, the spring is like when we change in special spring is when you have like a new life, new projects, new energy. And in Mexico, we have some special ways to enjoy this. For example, in Mexico City, we have the principal pyramid that is Teotihuacan. Most of the people go there, they wear white, and they go to take energy. So let me show you a picture about this. Wow, where is this? How? Sorry, I think that I have, yes, it's here, but because I have more picture, it's not the only way that we enjoy this situation. Can you see? Can you see? Excuse me? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the pyramid Teotihuacan. So you see more of the people is wearing in white. Other, we have in Yucatan, there is another pyramid that is, I forgot the name, the pyramid, but this is so special because when the sun is moving, you can see by the shadow that is a snake going down. So this is the special moment that the people enjoy that. I tried to have a video about this effect, and well, I tried to choose the best, but let me show you this effect. Chichen Itza, it's the pyramid. So you can see this is the shadow, and in the below is the head of the snake. So when it's going this shadow is like the body of the snake until you see the head of the snake. I saw another videos, and the people and the people yell a lot because I think that the emotion to see that it's different that you see in the video. So I have never been there. I have never been there. So I hope, because I saw many on almost the people when it's coming down the shadow. Okay. Also, there are another ways that we welcome the spring. Let me show another picture of Mexico City. In this, you can see an special. These trees, violet trees. The name of these trees is jacarandas. So when the spring comes, you can see a lot of these streets.
Liderar no es mandar.
With this. Wow.
Liderar es servir para sacar lo mejor de ti y de los demás para conseguir el objetivo común.
Wow.
Y eso te convierte en una persona extraordinaria y muy valiosa a nivel profesional y personal. Si estás de acuerdo con esta visión.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is another way that we welcome to spring. Okay, now we can say welcome to our meeting of Toastmasters to this new season. And we have a team that maybe I can say that each of you is at this beautiful tree jacaranda that show all of better of you. We can start with grammarian. Grammarian is with our team, Cristina. Please, Cristina, let us your role in this meeting of Toastmaster of the this Toastmaster meeting.
Good morning, everyone. It's really nice to be here, and I love the theme of Welcome to Spring. My role today is to look at good uses of the English language and not so good uses of the English language. But I can see that from the start, we're going to have some really interesting examples. My word of the day, or rather, thankfully, Yasmin's word of the day is euphoria. So what is euphoria? It's the experience of pleasure or excitement and intense feelings of well-being and happiness. So certain things can induce feelings of euphoria, whether it's from exercise or laughter or music, dancing, or my example would be the start of spring. So what do I think of when I think of the start of spring? I think of the background that Tiger has on his screen of cherry blossom, the new spring, the new flowers, and they can all induce a state of euphoria. So please try and incorporate that word into your speeches for today. And I will be looking out and reporting back later. Thank you, Michelle.
You're on mute.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you very much, Cristina. And thank you very much for letting us how you appreciate the spring. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Now it's time for our contest. Deja, I'm so glad to see you here. And let us also, what about you think about the spring? What is for you? What is the meaning of spring for you?
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the odd counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when the speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. For me, the beginning of spring, well, I can tell you that I am less than euphoric to be awake right now following the time change. The beginning of spring means, if it weren't for the pandemic, time to travel again. It is the time to be able to visit other countries, which is something that I was trying to make a priority to do 2 years ago, and then I was not able to. So I'm looking forward to the chance to be able to do that again. If anybody wants to host me in their country, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Deja, for letting us about your role and your appreciation for this spring. Yes, it's like, wow, let's go. Is the sun out now and to enjoy the life? Thank you very much, Deja. Now it's time for our timer. Hey there, are you ready for the timer?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, and you are ready to tell us your role?
Yes, sure. Hello,
Okay.
everyone. My name is Heather Ali, and I'll be your timer today. So as a timer, my role is to keep the track of your time. As I've said it earlier, Roseburg takes time very seriously. And so I'm here to keep the track of your time. So the timings for the timings are as follows. As is, for speakers, maximum time will be 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll show a green card, and at 6 minutes, I'll show a yellow card, and then at 7 minutes, I'll show a red card. For the table topics, the timing will be 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll show a green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll show a yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll show a red card. For the evaluations, the maximum time will be 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll again show a green card. At 2.5 minutes, I'll show a yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I'll show a red card. So this is my role for today, and thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Heather. Thank you. Now it's time for our general evaluator. He's in spring right now with so beautiful flowers in back. Tiger, good day. Please, are you ready to tell us about your role and also your experience to change from the snow to now with sun? Well, I don't know if there is sun. Here in Mexico, yes, we have right now, and a little hot. And I don't know how it's in Oregon. Please let us.
Welcome, everybody. As general evaluator, I will be evaluating the overall meeting. I will also be evaluating the evaluators, and there will be a test at the end. Part of Toastmaster skill is listening, so please listen. We will find out who said what at the end of this meeting. Spring. Yes, the cherry blossoms are out. It's like magic. 2 weeks ago, it's cold, it's raining, miserable. All of a sudden, yesterday, I go for a walk, and voila. Mother Nature and her magic, the cherry blossoms are out. Spring means a new start. So with that in mind, let's get this meeting started. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Tiger. Okay, well, the meeting Toastmaster consists in 3 parts. First, it's about our speakers. Then we have a table topic that we are going to talk about this top theme, spring. And the end, we have the evaluation section. So I think that most of us, we are in euphoria to hear our first speaker, Shilpa. Shilpa, and I'm so happy to see you smile. And well, also I think that you changed the season when I think that I take off your gloves, your hat, and your jacket, and now maybe you are wearing a new clothes with this new season. Well, the Shilpa, her title is the 3 C's of Conflict Resolution. She is in the level 1 project evaluation and feedback second speech in the dynamic leadership pathway. Are you ready, Shilpa? Yes. Okay. Over to you, Shilpa.
Hello, everyone. Before I start my speech, I would like to tell you I have a very special guest, my dad, today with me. He is on a video call. He's recovering, so that's the first time he's got some time to listen to my speech. So this is very special. And I'll now start with my speech. I got my jacket. I got my bag. I'm all ready. This is going to be an awesome day. I'm in Thailand. I'm on a vacation with my cousin. Let me wake her up. Get up, get up. 5 minutes. Really? Dear friends, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, that was the beginning of a conflict. That was the beginning of a conflict that I needed to resolve. So today I'm going to share with you what are the 3 strategies that I use to resolve this conflict and how you can resolve your own conflicts, be it with your neighbor, friend, be it with your partner. But I'll give you these 3 strategies today. Remember, I have not perfected the craft yet, but I have just made a good start. So let me just put on my jacket here. I'm still not in the mood to give up. I'm still planning to have a good day trip. So the first thing, the 3 C's of conflict resolution. As you all know, all good things come with communication. So the first C of conflict resolution is communication. Okay, that was fairly easy. I communicated to my cousin. You know, I was planning so much for the vacation. We need to go. We cannot miss our precious day out. She's like, okay, you're worrying too much. It's just one day. We got still 4 more days left. So communication, did it work? Probably it did not. Then the next, she's like, I'll be on time the next day. The next day came. Do you think that she was on time? What do you say? She was not on time. Then I thought, the first C is not served me very well. Let me go to the second C of conflict resolution, the collaboration. Along with communication, I brought in collaboration. So this time, I asked my cousin that what was it? Why wasn't she getting ready on time? After all, we were here to go out and see the sights and not be in a hotel room. Now, conflict resolution, when we collaborate with each other, when we communicate, we have to really remember it's not about winning. It's not that I want the other person or the party to do what I want to do. It's never about my winning. It's about collaborating. It's about creating a situation where both parties can have their say. So my cousin explained to me that while she likes her outings as much, but then we have paid for this nice hotel. Why not take some time off to enjoy that? It's like, then I understood her point. So the doors of communication were opened, but then we had to bring some collaboration, some compassion in it, understanding the other person's point of view. Here, we have learned that if you want to resolve any conflict, be it a small scale, large scale with your teams, or even among nations, yes, you have to communicate. You have to tell your things very clearly without any confusion to the other party, to the receiving party. But the important thing is that you have to also collaborate with them. You have to bring in compassion. You have to understand their point of view. So these are the 2 first C's of conflict resolution. Repeat with me: communication and collaboration. Now, coming to the 3rd C of conflict resolution. This might seem easy, but is it really easy? But then they say that, it's better to have resolved the conflict rather than to dissolve the relationship. So we bring in the third C of conflict resolution. Yes, with some effort, we find consensus. What is consensus? Consensus is finding a common ground, coming to a middle common ground where we can both find a solution together. So what me and my cousin thought in this scenario is that we start the day a little late so that I'm not in a hurry to push her or I'm not bothering her too much. We have a good, nice breakfast at the hotel buffet. We start at not 6 o'clock, but 8 o'clock in the morning, and then stay back till late for the first 3 days. And then in the last 2 days, we would get up early and finish the day early. So we would not miss the sunrises and the sunsets. That was our consensus. That was our common ground. Did it work? Yes, in most part, I have to say, it worked. So we communicated, we collaborated, and then we found a consensus. That's how I saved my Thai holiday. It was fun, believe me. I'll share the pictures soon, very, very soon. Coming back to conflict resolution, think of a time that you have faced conflicts. I'm sure I would be surprised, deeply surprised, if someone said, no, I have had no conflicts in life. But whenever next you're faced with a conflict, you have to bring in the 3 C's. Sorry, I think I got muted for a while, but you have to bring in the 3 C's, the communication, collaboration, and consensus. Now, I am off to plan the next holiday with my cousin. Will it be conflict-free? No guarantees. She wants to go to Bahamas. I want to go back to India. Let's see what happens. Till then, back to you, Toastmaster Ishel.
Thank you very much, Shilpa. Oh, so great speech. And I think that you are with euphoria for this new news about your father. I'm sorry. Also, I'm so happy that your father is so well, so great. It's important, the health. And changing to the meeting, I forgot to say that Mary is going to evaluate to Shilpa. Now, now it's time for our second speaker, Jasmine. Jasmine, her title for her speech is "It's Within You." It's within you. It's within you, Jasmine. Over to you.
Do you allow external circumstances to dictate the state of your mind? Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it was in 2016 that I was so euphoric to go home for the new year from Rome, where I was working. I was so excited that I booked the first flight immediately after my office hours just to rush back to home. And the day arrived. I was to go home. I finished my office as soon as possible and rushed myself into the train station to see a crowded train come and stop in front of me. It was overly crowded. And when an Indian say it's crowded, trust me, it was crowded. I just pushed myself into the train because I had to reach the airport. I just, for microseconds, just did not move at all. And everyone around was like, can this Indian move? Why is she coming at this train where there is no space to breathe? But who cared? I only wanted to go to the trains, to the airport. I just closed my eyes, stood in the airport in a constant state for 30 minutes, and arrived at the airport on time. Yes, I was on time. I just did everything, finished my passport, and took a minute of peace when it rang. Tring, tring. Hello? Signora Yasmin? Sì? E questa è polizia italiano. Who? A polizia italiano, signora. Italian police? Why is police calling me here? I didn't do anything. I didn't do really anything. Signora, no parla italiano. Can you please speak in English? Madam, your Indian purse is stolen. There is a black purse that is stolen in the train. Oh, that's true. I had a black purse. And yes, that's true. That purse is stolen. But thank God I had my passport saved. Yeah, yes, my purse is stolen. Madam, the purse has lots of money. Indian money. Oh yeah, that's true. The purse has lots of Indian money. Senor, I am not involved in money laundering. Trust me, I don't do money laundering. The only reason I am taking this money to India is because the Indian government has changed the currency. So if I don't take this money to home, I will not be able to get this money anytime. The voice on the other side said, Madam, is no my problem. Is your money. The problem is you come to the police station and take your purse. Oh yeah, he's right. To take my purse, I have to go to the police station now. But here is the flight. In 5 minutes, I have to go home to celebrate the new year. What do I do? There was no one to guide me. I just had to close my eyes and there was no time. Within 30 seconds, I have to decide what do I have to do. And something inside me told me, don't let external circumstances dictate your state of mind. And I said, Senor, thank you very much. I will take care of this purse once I have come back from India. And I took the flight and I went home. I had the most memorable New Year celebrated with my family. And most importantly, I learned the lesson not to allow the external circumstances dictate your state of mind. But do you all know one thing? There are moments in our life when we have to re-investigate into what we have learned. We have to remind ourselves of what we have learned. And yes, this came during COVID. During COVID, everything around me was dictating my state of mind. I was completely dictated by external circumstances. A soul like me, a traveler, was pulled inside, was forced into lockdown. I had nowhere to go and nothing to do. I was helpless, hopeless, frustrated, agitated. Where will I find answers? I had to close my eyes for that voice from within me to come. Don't let external circumstances dictate your state of mind. But now what do I have? I have nothing. What do I do? When I opened my eyes, I had nothing in front of me except a pen and a paper. And I started scribbling on that paper. And I enjoyed scribbling, maybe because that was my expression, the way to express my anger. I did this again, second day. I don't know why. And second day, 2 hours passed by. I didn't realize when those scribbles turned into patterns. And when those 2 hours turned into 2 days, and when those 2 days turned into projects of my life, when I started sketching, I explored the one who could sketch me, the painter which I had never found existed within me. It was within me. So next time, when you are looking for anything, please try to first look inside. If you're looking for power, look inside. If you're looking for peace, look inside. If you're looking for solution to your problems, look inside, because my experience makes me believe it's within you. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Thank you very much for this great message. And I think that most of us right now, we have the spring inside of us. Okay. And I forgot to say that Jasmine is going to be evaluated by Sarah. That she's with us. Now it's time for our second moment, table topic, that it's going handled by Ravi Shankar. Ravi, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Toastmaster Rochelle.
Okay, so we go over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rochelle. So the purpose of table topics in any Toastmasters meeting is for us to be able to think on our feet and present to an audience, especially when we are placed in a situation where we do not have enough time to prepare. This is where it is different from the prepared speech segment, and this is where it helps us maybe pitch an idea to a shark that you found on your on your trip somewhere, or if you were to bump into somebody in the elevator, right? So with that, typical table topics, I think Haider, our timer, has already mentioned, but I'll reiterate. We would have about 2 minutes for each table topic, and at 1 minute we present the green light, at 1.5 the yellow, and at 2 minutes the red light. I have a whole bunch of table topics around the theme of spring and a few other things related to spring or this time of the year, and I'm really excited, and I'm hoping it will bring a lot of euphoria to this meeting as well when I present my table topics for all of you to pick on. So with that, I would like to see if anyone would want to volunteer for the very first table topic that I've got on. I see Deja.
Deja and Ayu.
Ayu, by the time you unmuted, I already saw Deja raise her hand. So I'll give Deja the chance first, and then I'll come back to you. Thank you. All right. And my phone decided to freeze at this very minute. Okay. Deja, so I have a little bit of a lengthy topic. Let me read it out. You may associate change in the seasons with a specific memory. For example, my favorite memory of spring is the allergy season. Every time it's spring season, the only thing that I can remember is all of the pollen all across the streets and all across the vehicles and everywhere. And I would sneeze until I could sneeze no further. That's the memory that I associate with spring. I would love for you to share your memories with all of us about springtime.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. I would have to say that I have strong memories with other seasons. In fall, I have strong memories of the dry wind that would blow. I'm from Orange County, California, what they call the Santa Ana winds. And I have memories of playing soccer, football for most of you guys. And in the winter, I have memories of the first time I ever saw snow. It was at my grandparents' house, and it was coming down in big snowflakes like flattened golf balls. In the springtime, I guess my strongest memory would be my birthday. My birthday is May 6th. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to do big celebrations for my birthday. However, one year I did go to Seattle with my mother. We visited the Space Needle. We visited a vineyard. and we visited the Chihuly Art Museum, Glass Museum, which was a really fantastic place. The sculptures made of glass were beautiful and colorful. Some were big and some were small, and some were outside and some were inside. It was a euphoric experience to spend that time with my mother. That would be my strongest memory of spring. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your memories of spring with us, Teja. Thanks a lot. And if I may, I know we are a couple of months away, but just the way the rest of us Star Wars fans celebrate May the 5th be with you, I think we would also celebrate May the 6th be with you, or rather the 4th, right? So the 6th as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else? I think Ayu had volunteered. So should I pick Ayu? All right. She seems euphoric as well. She's just waiting for a springtime topic, huh? Okay. A lot of us engage in spring cleaning, don't we? If you had an opportunity to discard something that has been with you for a very long time, what would it be and why?
In Chinese culture, there is when they have the Chinese New Year, they always call it as a spring festival. And spring seems like, for all of us in the world, in this world, I don't know, in March, spring is always a new beginning. But indeed it is, because if we can see surround us with all the flowers and everything, it's a new beginning. They start blooming again. Ravi, the thing is I am constantly trying to eliminate the bad things or all the junk that I have just in everyday life. So it's a constant, not just in spring. Since I learned about simplicity, so I know I have a lot of things in my life, including the old feelings and everything. And I am now, since like about 2 years now, slowly take it out, all the junk that it has inside me or surround me. Because sometimes I still love, for example, a book, or this is not a book, this is like a brochure, 1995, but I still want to see it. Come on, so I still have that feeling. But whenever I'm ready, I always try to, okay, this one times to go. So if you ask me what I want to get rid of, at the moment I cannot give you a specific answer, but by with my time, I will try to let go all and try to be as simple as possible, because what we take after life, just us and our deed. Back to you, Avi.
Thank you, Ayu. Thanks a lot. Lovely to hear you speak. All right. I hope we have time for at least another 1 or 2 more table topic speeches. Any volunteers? May I pick? If I don't get any volunteers, I think I'm going to pick next. I see Mary has a wonderful background about St. Patty's Day, and I'm really curious to ask her something. But Mary, I'll come back to you. I am tempted to also go to the other evaluator in today's meeting, Sarah. I hope that's okay. Sarah, what do you think? Are you game to pick a table topic and speak on it?
Okay.
All right, great. So your topic is, imagine that you are stuck in a time loop and were reliving the same day again and again and again with nobody else noticing. Can you share with us what your experience would be like and what you would do when you were stuck in a time loop like this?
Wow, you know what? I have discovered I had the same breakfast today as yesterday. And then the same rhythms of my day came again and again. So I need to do the best of it. Don't you think? So what could it be that I can do repeatedly and it's okay for me? I think the best thing is to go and do some sport. And after the sport, eat whatever I want, ice cream, cake, wherever, so that I know that I will every day have the same, but I also will have the opportunity to do some sport so that I won't gain weight, and for sure maybe meet some of my favorite friends, the ones that I haven't seen in such a long time. Now I have the opportunity to see them every day, to eat every day whatever I want, and to do the same sport, which I love to do. So back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Sarah. That was really fun to hear you speak about sports and eating. So those of you who might be wondering, what does this have to do with spring? I waited for Sarah to finish speaking, and then I'm going to share with all of you. One of my most favorite movies is Groundhog Day. And that is a day where I think it's in Punxsutawney in Pennsylvania in the US, where there's a tradition where a groundhog comes out of its hole in the wall or somewhere, and it looks at its own shadow and it predicts if spring will start anytime soon, or if there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. And in this particular movie, the actor goes through the same day for a very long time, and he has a whole lot of wonderful experiences until he breaks that time loop. And that is why it is just before spring. So that's the reason for picking this particular table topic. Thank you again, Sarah. I see Ruku is also on. May I interest her in a table topic? She's not. She's busy elsewhere. That's okay. I was just pulling her leg. Anybody else would want to go on? One last volunteer for table topics. Okay, I'm going to pick Mary.
Okay.
Sorry, Ishel, did you say something?
I say give one to Hater.
Yes, that if maybe I can be a voluntary, but if Mary wants, it's okay also.
Okay, I'll give one to Ishel then. If I think that's what I heard, or maybe my internet is kaput. All right. Here you go. Today is the 14th of March, and it is also known as Pi Day. Pi being the number 22, the number that is best represented as a fraction 22 by 7. It is also, the circumference of a circle divided by its diameter. That's what pi essentially represents in mathematics, right? So today is Pi Day, and typically mathematics, which is where we first come across pi, is something that most kids don't tend to like a lot. What I'd like to learn from you, Ishel, is an incident related to mathematics or anything to do with sums, any algebra, anything of that sort that you really love and that you really hold, cherish, close to your heart. Anything around that, we'd love to hear from you.
Wow. I didn't understand at the beginning that the day is, well, first I hear that today is a bad day. That's true. But according to the mathematic situation, Yes, Mary, I think that she knows. Come on, Mary, come with me, and that is the meaning for today. Oh, interesting! Wow, you know. Okay, but well, okay, well, thank you, Christina, thank you. Okay, well, and say that it's a bad day, but also just say that what I would like to learn, and don't close my heart. That's correct, Rabin Shankar? Yes.
Sure, whatever works for you, Michelle. I mean, you don't have to check it with me, but I was asking about anything related to mathematics that, yeah, you can go on. That's okay.
Okay, well, okay. Well, let me to focus about what I don't want to close my heart. I don't want to stop learning, and also hear all the yes, I think learning, and also changing. And sometimes I have the opportunity to see in another person's by myself, and I say, oh no, I don't want that. So I had opportunity to see this situation and I decided to change. I don't have to do these bad issues, bad things. So I want to learn, to grow up as a person, and continue to enjoy the life. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle. And I think with that, we're out of time. So I'll hand it back to you as Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you for that great questions. Challenge questions for us. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for our third part, the evaluation. In this case, I will give the control to our general evaluator, Tiger. Over to you, Tiger.
Thank you, Michelle. Let's get right into our evaluations. Mary is going to evaluate Shilpa. Mary, it's all yours.
Thank you. Wouldn't it be euphoric if we had a world that was without conflict? Unfortunately, that's not the case, but Shilpa gave us 3 wonderful tips on how we can resolve the conflict in our lives. And she did it very effectively. Starting initially, right from the beginning of her speech, she grabbed us by coming out with a very enthusiastic voice. She grabbed her coat and just drew me right into the speech. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. She was talking about a conflict that she was having with her, I think it was her sister, her friend, that they were traveling. Anyway, then she's like, let me tell you 3 ways. And she used her hand gestures to support that. But then she went one step further. And then as she talked about each of the 3 points, she used a visual. So I think she did an outstanding job of driving home the point by repeating the 3 main points, by using hand gestures to support it, and then by using a visual cue. I can very easily say her 3 points were communication, collaboration, and consensus. And so for me, it means you successfully got your message across to me, Shilpa, that I can walk away from your speech and I can remember the 3 main points. And wow, that's just the goal when we speak, is that our message is heard, received, and people walk away and can apply it later after the speech is over. So you did an excellent job with that. I have so many wonderful things that you did that it was a real difficulty to give suggestions for improvement. But I'll say the first one was something that we should have worked out between the two of us before the meeting. This was her second speech that she got feedback, and then she was supposed to apply that feedback, and I was supposed to evaluate, did she do that? I didn't have the first speech evaluation, so I wasn't sure what things needed to be worked on. So in the future, when we have something like that, and it's both of us, we should have worked it out and made sure I had that previous one. The only other suggestion I can make is your camera location. I felt like you were very close up, which I like that from a feel like you're speaking directly to me, because your eye contact was wonderful, but you're so close that some of your gestures got cut off, particularly when you were using your hands above your head and you had the jacket, it got cut off. So may I suggest that you step back a couple steps that we can see you all the way to the waist. That will allow us to see you, more of you. And you can even ask before you start, hey, can you see me from waist up, so that you know that people are seeing enough of your body. That would also open up the opportunity for you to move around in the speaking space a little bit more. And they always talk about using your speaking space as a way to transition. So maybe while you have your visuals, you can start moving from the right side of the screen to the left side and then finish in the center. That would, again, open up by that. I got to tell you, I loved your humorous ending. It again drove home the point that there's always going to be a conflict, but knowing those tools that you have, that on your next vacation that you plan with your sister, friend, whoever that was, you'll be able to have some great tools to do that. And so I think excellent ending. I'll finish with one last, no, I'm going to stop because I'm out of time. I will put it in your written evaluation. Back to you, Toastmaster or General Evaluator. Well done, Shilpa.
You have to love that. I'm going to stop because I see the red. Very. Do not do that in the evaluation. Do not say that in the evaluation. All right. Thank you for that wonderful evaluation, Mary. That was very good. Evaluator number 2 is Sarah. We're going to hear what Sarah had to say about Yasmin's speech.
Thank you, Tiger. Jasmine, what a great speech. It was really very inspiring, and it has a very powerful message. So I really enjoy it, and I was euphoric listening to you. So I will tell you the 3 things that I liked the most, and then 3 recommendations for the contest. First, your facial expressions. You were very expressive. You told us with your storytelling and with your face what you were going through, and I really got engaged to the speech with this. So thank you for that. Also, you told us the story in a very humorous way. So I was very happy listening to you. I wanted to know what comes next and how you solved the first situation and so on. And then you came to a reflection when you stop for a little bit, and then you tell, don't let anyone dictate what you think. And then you continue making your decision on the phone. And so I think it was very important to do this pause and to slow down, to let us think about it, because it was really a very good message. Probably as a suggestion, I will even increase a little bit this pause so that you allow us to think more about this. And then I will tell you my 3 suggestions for the contest. First, open a little bit your view so that we can see more of your body language, because I was seeing your hands like this, and probably you can we can see a little bit more, like more of your hands. And at some points you were your head was cutting like this, so maybe a little bit of space. And well, the other I already mentioned, maybe in the reflection process, do it a little bit longer, so that you allow us to think more about these reflections, about this powerful message. And the last one is about the transition. You were telling a story about you going to the airport and then giving us a message. Don't dictate anyone. Don't let anyone to dictate what you think. And then you didn't continue with that story, but you took that learning to go into a new story about you going through COVID times and finding new talents. And so maybe I will work on that transition to make it clear that you took that learning and then go into a new small story. And then because then you have another powerful message, which is find the strength within you. So I will try to connect it even more, and at the end also connect that with the beginning, so that your story is round. So that's it. That's what I have to say. I really enjoyed your speech, and I wish you most of the success in the contest. Back to you, Tiger.
Thank you, Sarah, for an excellent evaluation. So I want you guys to notice both of them gave accommodations, they gave recommendations, and conclusion. If you are contestant in an evaluation, the conclusion is critical. It's worth 15 points, and I cannot tell you how many times people do a contest, they don't do a conclusion, and they lose. Simply for that reason. So Sarah, excellent conclusion. Mary, excellent evaluation. And let's move on to our grammarian, our guest, well, not really our guest, our special guest, Christina.
Thank you, Tiger. Well, it's my pleasure to give you the grammarian's report for today. And I'm really pleased to say that the word of the day, euphoria, was used a number of times. So please forgive me if I've missed anyone. I've got Deja multiple times, Yasmin, Ravi, Mary, Sarah. Have I missed anybody? I think in the beginning I was so interested in what people were saying that I may not have paid as much attention as I could have done. We started off with Ichelle, who gave us a lovely, lovely warm welcome. I loved the pictures, and I particularly loved the jacaranda trees. It's one of those essences that I've always loved, so to see the picture was nice. There was a couple of things that Ichelle said that could have just been a little bit more perfect. She said, welcome to the spring. And I would prefer welcome to spring. Very simple. And there's another little example, which was, she described that Mary was going to evaluate to Shilpa. Mary was going to evaluate Shilpa. So it was just those little pronouns. And there was one other person that did something a little bit similar later that surprised me. But what a lovely welcome that we had. Ichelle talked quite a lot at the beginning. She'd obviously thought about the topic of spring and gave us some lovely, lovely explanations there. Next up, we had Tiger. There will be a test. We're waiting for it, Tiger. Mother Nature and her magic. Spring means a new start. Tiger had some lovely examples there. We had Shilpa talking at the beginning. I love the way she engaged us with her sentence. That was the beginning of a conflict. I think she intrigued us. She was dragging us into the story very quickly. She has not perfected her craft. I loved the humor. She didn't want to miss the sunrises and sunsets. There was some really beautiful language in both Shilpa's and Yasmin's speeches. Yasmin also started with a very gripping sentence. Do you allow external situations to dictate your state of mind? Gosh, this was profound. Where was this going to go? And she also had, I think, 4 descriptive words together that I really liked: helpless, hopeless, frustrated, and agitated, as she talked about her situation with lockdown. Again, there were a couple of prefixes. I'm not quite sure what the grammar is. She mentioned rush back to home, whereas I would prefer to hear rush back home. And if I don't take this money to home, I would have preferred to hear, if I don't take this money home. But overall, what beautiful language Yasmin always has. She always uplifts us, and today was no exception. Ravi had some interesting language. I thought the table topics were tough. I don't know what other people thought. He talked about pitching to your shark. He sneezed until he could sneeze no further. Next up, we had Deja talking about her situation with her mum in Seattle at the Chihuly Glass Museum. And she said somewhere outside, somewhere inside. And there were several different descriptives that Deja used, which I thought were so spectacular there. I didn't write them down quickly enough. We had Ayu talking about the Chinese New Year is described as the Spring Festival. And she talked about simplicity, really liked that. Sarah had a really difficult topic about being stuck in a time loop. And I like the way that she started off with breakfast. Breakfast's always a really good starting place. I think some of us can imagine having the same breakfast multiple days. Michelle had an even more difficult one about mathematics. I quite like maths, so I probably would have been okay with that one. But she managed to turn it into learning, growing, and enjoying life. And I think that's quite a turnaround from maths. So well done, Michelle. We had Mary on Michelle in her evaluation. Let me tell you 3 ways. That was a really good example of what Shilpa had said. She was driving home the point by repetition. Mary can walk away and remember the 3 main points. They're simple statements, but key, and using your speaking space for transitions. And we had Sarah on Yasmin about how she told the story in a humorous way, and she talked about Yasmin's reflection point. I thought there were some really beautiful examples of language in the meeting. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, Christina, for that very comprehensive grammarian's report. Let's get to our odd counter. How did we do today, Deja? Deja, correct? Deja?
Deja with a long E. I like to say that it's like Dijon mustard, not like deja vu.
It's all yours.
So I just used a filler word. I need to be evaluating myself. The people who spoke today, Christina, you did fantastic. Very well done. Didn't hear maybe one filler word. Hater, same, maybe one filler word. Shilpa, very well done. You did use the word now. Yasmin, well done. Ravi, well done. Sarah, you did very well the first time you spoke. The second time you spoke, you had 2 uhs. Mary did very well. I think she had 1 filler word, which was anyway. Ishal, you had several filler words. Your favorite filler word is You just need that extra second to figure out the word, I think, because you don't know what word you're looking for in English, but you can make that pause without saying the filler word. Just pause while you search for that word in your mind. I just wanted to say how I love how expressive both Shilpa and Yasmin were during their speeches. You both are true storytellers. Back to you.
Thank you, Deja, for a very comprehensive odd counter report. Now we get to move on to our timer. How did we do for timing today, Hader?
Hello. So timer report is right here, and maybe I forgot. Maybe I missed a person or two because I was too keen to listen to them. And there have been 1 or 2 persons who missed their time limits. So I'll just tag the timer report down in the chat for the references. And that's my timer report for now. Thank you.
Wow, I like that. I like a timer who's on time. Very well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here as our guest again. My turn. Evaluators, again, I want to emphasize both evaluators did a very nice job of accommodations and recommendations. I especially want people to take note of Sarah's excellent conclusion. It was short, but it wrapped things up very nicely. The very important part of the evaluation is the conclusions. Sarah, thank you for that demonstration. Appreciate it. Ravi, good questions. However, I want you to own, next time you do tabletops, I want you to own it. Don't be asking people I need a volunteer. No. You come out and you go, all right, my first victim, my first participant is you. And you just rock and roll. Don't ask for volunteers. It takes too much time. People are kind of hiding. And I do appreciate the fact that you did try to get Raku involved and that you gave her that option. I do appreciate that. Anytime you have guests, you want to get them involved also. But next time, own the stage, my friend. Your questions were great. Just keep it rolling. Good meeting. Overall, it was a good meeting. Now comes the test. We don't have much time, so I'm going to make this very short. What kind of flowers are behind me? Christina said it. Mary?
Cherry blossoms.
They are cherry blossoms. This is a sure sign of spring in Oregon, and I'm sure other parts of the world as well. Who said springtime is the time to visit other countries?
Tisha.
Tisha said that. And one more thing about spring. Oh, this one. I love this one. Springtime for me means sneezing. I sneeze until I can sneeze no more.
Ravi.
Ravi. And Ravi, I'm with you, man. Same thing. About April. Got to do the antihistamine. Back to you, Miss Toastmaster of the day. And by the way, Cheryl, great job coming in late. I love the beginning with the Aztecs and the whole thing. Very nice job of keeping the meeting moving.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiger. Thank you very much for everyone for all your role or your performance in this meeting. And I wish you to have a new season, new life, new opportunities, new moments. Thank you very much for everyone. And it's moment to our president, Aju, that she is always in the spring. Aju, over to you.
Thank you so much, Excel. It seems like we are having a good time today, and we start late, but we finish quite on time. Thank you, General Evaluator, for your contribution. And only 2 things: time to join and time to renew. With that, I would like to say meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And mwah.